out in West Texas, right off Highway 90, was a spot home to the Riata Ranch. But now, the only thing you'll see out there are big pieces of plywood of Leslie and Big Benedict and Jet Rink, along with the Riata Mansion, which of course was never a real mansion, but this was and still is.
Okay, ready?
Joe Duncan bought the Hotel Paisano in 2001. Located in downtown Marfa, this was one of the few hotels that were built in 1930. During that time, West Texas was gaining popularity thanks to the local national parks that were set to open up. That includes Big Bend, Carlsbad Caverns, and the Guadalupe Mountains.
So these hotels were strategically situated at these crossroads to the national parks, but they were all developed by the Gateway Hotel Company for future tourism.
And tourism sure boomed shortly after three Hollywood heartthrobs would make their way to West Texas. Just outside of town, a popular film was being shot about oil, ranching, and of course, love.
Warner Brothers came to town in 1955 to film the movie Giant, a now classic movie. The national movie of Texas, some people call it. And they all stayed here. They moved into the Paisano in June of '55, and they were here filming for 6 weeks. They didn't film here, but they all stayed here.
Stepping into the Hotel Paisano is like stepping into the past. Everything is kept to look original. Is it important for you to keep it that way?
It is, yeah. People lounge in here at night, and we don't want to change anything. We don't want to lower the ceilings. We don't want to do anything.
It keeps the charm.
It keeps the charm, the historic charm of what it's always looked like.
So what you see here is how it looked when the hotel first opened and when the cast first walked in.
The main story was, this is a funny story from Giant. James Dean blew into town, and he was one of the big stars. This was his third picture. It was his last picture. But he blew into town. We had a couch. We still have the original couches in the hotel. They're not here right now. He just fell on the couch and took a nap, went to sleep. And the desk clerk, everybody was like, I think that's James Dean over there. I don't know. I think it is James Dean. And so that was going on. And he just was exhausted when he hit Marfa, and then he went to sleep on the couch.
The hotel has 42 rooms. Each one has its own character. This is probably the one room that gets requested the most. That's because this is the James Dean room, and this is the room that James Dean once stayed in while they were filming the movie Giant for 10 days, and he wasn't the only one. In fact, there were also the crew members as well. Even the cast members. We're talking Elizabeth Taylor, Rock Hudson, and Dennis Hopper, and you can book their rooms too.
So this is the bathroom of the James Dean room. Pretty much just the way it looked in 1955. Everything's the same, original tile. The Elizabeth Taylor suite and the Rock Hudson suite. Rock Hudson suite is occupied today, so we can't see it, but I'll take you into the Elizabeth Taylor suite. This is where she stayed when she was here for the first 10 days. We've also included the room next to it as part of this suite, which was not, this was just a room when she was here.
The other side of the building holds space for art exhibits, souvenir shops, and if you want cool merch from the film, there's a little shop dedicated to all things Giant. You'll even see some pieces from the actual set, including the original wood that holds signed photographs of the stars.
And they're all signed to the lady, M. Mallon, that owned the hotel at the time. She got to be very close with them all. They've been here for 50 years. So we're going in from the lounge here to Jet's Grill. This is named after James Dean's character in Giant.
Inside are photos of what life was like behind the scenes.
And this is James Dean and Elizabeth Taylor joking around on set.
One photo showing a picture of Robert Hinkle, a Texas cowboy who was hired by Warner Brothers to come out on set and help the actors learn how to walk the walk and talk the talk, the Texas way.
He met Elizabeth Taylor. She was the biggest movie star in the world in 1955, and she didn't want to have anything to do with Bob. And they'd been working together for a week, and he had not broken the ice with her yet. I said, let's take a break. Let's go to the drive-in. They have the best chili cheeseburgers. James Dean, Rock Hudson, Elizabeth Taylor, and Bob are in this convertible. They arrive at the drive-in, they order their chili cheeseburgers, and Liz says, I just had a baby, I need to lose some pounds, I'm not gonna eat tonight. So the chili cheeseburgers arrive and their Cokes, and they're eating this, and Bob is sitting next to Liz in the convertible. She says, Bob, could I have a bite of your chili cheeseburger? And he looks at her and said, well, sure, Liz, here. And she smiled at him and said, "Ooh, that sure is good." And he said, "Ooh, she spoke to me for the first time." So anyway, he ended up sharing his whole meal with Liz, and he said from then on that was the icebreaker. They were best friends for the rest of their life. Bob said, "You wouldn't believe all the people I met for the next 40 years in Liz's backyard. We were just best friends from then on."
Because technology wasn't advanced as it is now, films took a process to be developed. Dailies, which were the raw and unedited footage shot during the film, were frequently sent out of West Texas at the end of the day. That's where the name dailies comes from.
When Giant was here, George Stevens, the director, would set up a projector in here. He would show his dailies in here. They would fly the film to Los Angeles, have it developed, and the next day they would fly it back to Marfa. And then that night, they would show it on the projector and critique their work.
Unfortunately, this would be James Dean's last film, after he died in a car crash just weeks later and never had the chance to see the movie.
Keep what she give me. I'm sentimental too, but.
And for Hotel Paisano, Giant is a sentimental chapter of history.
They were young. They were all in their early 20s. In 1955 when they filmed this movie. She was the biggest movie star in the world, so it was a huge deal for her to be in Marfa and filming Giant.
I bet everyone was super starstruck.
They were. Everybody in Marfa came to the Paisano to take pictures of them.
Because after 68 years, for a small town in West Texas, there's always a giant piece of Hollywood that continues to live behind these walls. In Marfa, Jolena Okazaki, News West 9.